Hey, it's Matthew. Let's talk about product pricing. So I've built many products over the years and sold many. And the challenge, one of the biggest challenges I always find is determining price, right? How do you determine the best price for your product to maximize your sales and revenue and ultimately your profit? So that's always a big challenge. And if you look at if you go to business school, they'll generally teach you kind of two theories on pricing. One is what's called cost plus pricing, and that's where you take your cost of goods and then you do a markup. So you might mark something up 20%, 30%. If you're retail, it might be anywhere from 30 to 100% markup, where you're buying a $10 item and you're selling it for anywhere from $13 to $20, maybe more, but that's generally cost plus pricing. The other approach is what's called market pricing, where you basically price your product on what you think the market will bear. And so, it doesn't really matter what it costs, you just figure out what it is that people will pay. And software often falls into that area where, it might cost a lot in R&D, but there's no direct cost of goods. So you're generally trying to figure out market pricing. Just like anything in business, the concepts, the theories are really simple to understand. This isn't complicated. It's not physics or rocket science here. But what's really difficult is how to actually make the choice and implement into your market. Because if you get your pricing wrong, it doesn't matter how good and valuable your product is, often you're going to leave money on the table and maybe not even be successful. So that's a considerable challenge. And I found, if you start low, you could do a couple things, right? You could start with a lower price in order to try to get traction. And then as you get traction, you can incrementally increase your price until you get it to the point where you feel you're maximizing your opportunities. The other approach is you could start high and try to generate a perceived higher value, because higher price generally tends to make people think that you have a perceived higher value. Of course, you should try to make sure you have that value, otherwise you get yourself in trouble with lost sales. But you could start with a higher price. But I find the challenge with starting with a higher price is that if it's not working out for you, it's difficult to lower the price, because if you already have a whole bunch of customers who are paying that higher price and now all of a sudden you're offering a lower price, personally I would feel very difficult to lower that price without also lowering it and doing something of value for my previous customers. I know a lot of people don't do that in business, but that's just how I feel about it. So I tend not to like to go in at a higher price if I feel like I may end up having to lower it. I'd rather go low and increase rather than start high and decrease. Now, if you do start higher, one of the options you can consider is offering some type of discount. So, early adopter discount, here's our price, early adopter discount. And what the benefit of this approach is you still get that perceived value, higher value with the higher price, but the discount is not only making it more accessible to your early stage customers, but then you can remove the discount. So your price is not changing, but your discount is removing. So you can incrementally reduce the discount or just eliminate it altogether. And your previous customers who already purchased are going to be okay with it, because they did purchase at the lower cost, because they got the discount already. So that's a way you could actually maintain a higher price without necessarily increasing your prices, by offering those early adopter discounts. So that's something I'm experimenting with a couple of products as well. Anyway, that's some thoughts on pricing. It is I find it one of the most challenging things to do in business. Do you find it challenging? Let me know in the comments, and let me know your approach to pricing, and see if we can help each other out and figure out some of the best practices going forward. I'm Matthew Giorgio.